Alright class, in this video I'm going to show you kind of how this online class is going to be laid out for the entirety of the semester, so that way you can begin to be a little more familiar with it. So here's where the class is, and this first part is called Topic 0. So you can see it just says Introduction to Soil Science. Here is my name, my email, my phone number right there at the top in case you need to get a hold of me. We're going to have this announcements forum. Periodically, I may place announcements right here. These are announcements from me to you as a student, letting you know kind of what's going on, something I find is kind of important for you to know. If you see that announcements light up with or have, say, any unread posts, be sure to go in there and check that out. Currently, you're right here at this Start Here booklet. So you're already navigating this Start Here booklet and going through that. As soon as you get done with that Start Here booklet, this course syllabus is automatically going to open up, and you definitely need to go in there and read this course syllabus, this class syllabus. In there, you're going to find important information like how are you going to be graded in this class, and then aspects like where is or what is some of that required materials, like that garden guide or that garden kit, that garden test kit that you're going to need to get, and as well as that book. You're going to see information pertaining to that in that course syllabus. Then the way that this class is set up is it's actually going to be set up in collapsed topics on a weekly basis. So we're going to be going through this class on a week-by-week basis. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to click on this first tab and open up that first week. And this is the way it's going to look. Now you've got 3 different assignments that you need to take care of right off the bat. You've got this Introduce Yourself forum. You've got a syllabus quiz and this email assignment. A syllabus quiz is pulling off information from the course syllabus. So make sure before you attempt this course syllabus quiz, you go ahead and read the course syllabus. So you'll have this Introduce Yourself forum, syllabus quiz, email assignment, and you'll need to take care of each part of that. And then right below that, we have this readings and activities. These readings and activities are pretty important because that's going to wind up being a checklist for what you're going to need to do. So if we look at it, it's going to tell you, all right, what are our readings for this week? So it's telling you right here, this is what you need to read out of the book for week 1. Here is what you need to study, and those are the lecture notes. We're going to have a reading, a weekly reading, and this is the weekly reading. And then it gives you this activities, and it's set up in order. This is the way I'd like for you to tackle this in the way you do it in order. So first off, complete the Introduce Yourself forum, then take the syllabus quiz, then read the email assignment, or complete the email assignment, complete the week 1 reading assignment, take the week 1 quiz, complete the week 1 temperature, wind, moisture submission, and then complete the plant spotlight for week 1, which is going to be corn. We're going to get into that a little bit, but that's basically giving you a checklist. If you get all of these done and turned in, you're done for the week. So, moving on, we're actually going to break this class up into 2 main categories. So this is actually a lecture lab class. So we're going to have a lecture portion here and a lab portion down here. They're going to be separate, but all part of the class. So under this lecture, you're going to see it set up where it's going to have notes and discussions, where if you click on this, it's going to take you to the week 1 notes, or the chapter notes for week 1. And then we're also going to have this class discussion. Now this class discussion is a voluntary, non-graded forum, but it's set up to where if you have any questions about the work, and there's something you don't mind asking your classmates, this is kind of set up to where you can ask your classmates questions. So way I envision this is if you have a question, like you would if you were in an in-person class where you would just go and ask your neighbor or ask your friend, ask your peer, hey, what do you think about this? You can actually post it here in this class discussion. And then it's your job as a student to be checking that. And if you know the answer to it, go ahead and answer that class, that discussion question that one of your peers posted. And I'll be checking in on it periodically. And if you ask a question and nobody else is answering, I'll go ahead and answer that question. But this is where you can kind of pose topics and questions throughout the class. Like I mentioned, you're going to have a reading. So what you'll need to do is each week you'll need to click on this reading right here. And you'll need to read through that reading, and then you'll have an assignment associated with that reading, a small assignment to go along with it. And whenever you get done reading the chapter or reading the section, reading the notes, you've done the readings, you've got a week 1 quiz down here. So these quizzes are actually going to be timed quizzes. You'll have 1 attempt on it. They're going to be about 25 questions. You'll have about 35 minutes to complete the quiz. You'll have 35 minutes to complete the 25 questions. You know, it is open notes. and just make sure you get those quizzes done each week. And then we're going to jump down here into the lab portion. So each week you're going to have to complete this temperature, moisture, and wind submission. And here are the instructions behind it. So essentially you're going to need to go out and find your city and state. If you are a distant student, find the city and state that you're currently living in. If you're an on-campus student, you're going to look up this information for your hometown. So that way we don't have 5 or 10 people all putting information for Casper. We don't necessarily need that. So you're going to look up the temperature, the soil temperature and the ambient temperature, the amount of moisture, and then the wind, the average wind speed for your location. And you're going to need to actually report that in this TMW portion right here. So be sure to click on this TMW instructions and then go ahead and submit your submissions right here on this TMW. And then each week we're also going to have a plant spotlight. So the plant spotlight instructions are listed right there, and the assignment is going to be listed right here. So make sure that you're going to be reading these TMW instructions and the plant spotlight instructions before you attempt the actual work. And then from here on out, every week you're going to be entering in a TMW and a plant spotlight of the week, and it's just going to be using the same instructions from this very first week. So make sure that you go ahead and read those instructions, get familiar with it, and then complete those 2 assignments. Now, one thing we don't have listed under this lab is a lot of weeks we're actually going to have lab assignments. We're going to have labs, and this is where you're going to be actually doing some of that hands-on stuff. That's where you're going to be collecting some soil samples. That's where you're going to be testing the soil texture and figuring out what type of soil are you dealing with. This is where you're actually going to be testing that soil for those some of those macronutrients and the acidity of it. And you're going to be doing some of those hands-on labs. This first week, we don't have a lab assignment, but probably starting second week and then every week after that, you're going to be having some lab assignments to do. So that's actually going to be listed under these labs as well. Another key thing that I want to bring your attention to is where are your grades at? How do you find your grades? So the way where your grades are going to be located is it actually on this box right here, this menu box. If you click on that and come right here, it'll say grades. Now, I'm going to actually go through and kind of reset up this grade book. So what it looks like right now doesn't quite look like what it's going to, but that's where you find the grades. So, and if you're lost, you don't know kind of where to go, just make sure that you click right here on this menu box and then go to grades. Now, if we go back to the actual course, I wanted to show you something else. So you can, another kind of navigation of this course is that let's say that we go into the Introduce Yourself forum and we go up here to the top. This is what's known as a breadcrumb. So you can click on here and this will take you back to the main dashboard of Moodle. This will take you to different courses. But starting right here, this kind of shows how you can get back to the course very easily. So you can just click that button. If you were in like the Introduce Yourself forum or quiz and you need to get back, you can always just click that button right there and it'll take you back to that main page. Well, this has been a relatively brief overview of how do you navigate Moodle specifically for this class. So if you have any questions or have trouble navigating this particular class, please don't hesitate to get a hold of me. Again, my phone number and my email is listed right there at the top. You can my office number is WarnerAg103. Feel free to come in and see me and let me know if you ever have any questions or concerns, and I'll be happy to help you out in any way I can. Thanks, and look forward to seeing you online.